you're into non-traditional looking watches, say in the realms of Urwerk or MB&F, but A, don't have the funds to buy one, or B, you wouldn't spend that kind of money on one but still want to rock something unique, then stick around because this Alto Coral Stewart watch may fill that void. I would also like to mention that with every purchase, a portion of the proceeds go to coral conservation. Alto 8 is known for making really cool looking pieces that don't look like anything in the market. They definitely take inspiration from some of the heavy hitters I mentioned previously, but I can appreciate their design language and also affordability. Today we will be taking a look at their latest watch, the Alto Coral Stewart. I know this watch is not for everyone, but from an objective perspective, you need to give these guys credit in terms of uniqueness, craftsmanship, and giving back. The watch will retail for $400, but the watch will be available soon on Kickstarter for only $299, so you may want to jump on this one very quick if you like it. The company will offer this watch in several different dial colors, but today we're taking a look at the green dial. Now the entire case is constructed of 316L stainless steel, and as you can see, it's very distressed to mimic a worn old school dive helmet that's actually engraved on the back of the watch, kind of a little knot. I personally think this aesthetic is pretty cool, and I've never really handled a watch that feature this finishing, and this treatment is honestly kind of stress relieving. Knowing the watch is already pre-loved right out of the box, and the fear of that first scratch is just obsolete. However, one of the biggest downfalls for me and the reason why I wouldn't be able to wear this particular watch on a day-to-day basis is, well, the size of the case. I mean, the case measures in at 45mm by 45mm and is 13mm thick, and between the lugs, 22mm. As you can imagine on my 6 7/8 inch wrist, it doesn't look massive, but it certainly feels like it. The watch head alone does weigh 128 grams, so the watch feels a little top heavy. However, this watch is a fun piece and definitely put a smile on my face, from that unique case shape to the dual screw down signed 7.8mm crowns. The one on the right lets you set the time and the date, and the one on the left is to actuate the bidirectional 60-minute bezel. I'm personally not a fan of internal bezels, as they are not as practical nor fun to interact with, say as a 120 click or 60 click bezel. However, operating the bezel is easy, no issues there. Protecting the dial, we do find a flat sapphire crystal, as one would expect at this price point, unlike SoCal. However, one of the coolest things about this coral watch is the dial. It's been oil pressured into a three-dimensional shape, of course, of a coral, and all the details are there. I wish you guys could see this in person. It's actually very cool. The coral pattern has this gradient color, and this example, of course, is green to match that guacamole colored strap. The hands and indices have been finished in a gunmetal color to match the color of the case, and although on the darker side, they play very well with the light and appear to be well finished. We find minimal writing on the dial, such as the company name and the water resistance rating, which is, by the way, 300 meters. Now I want to highlight one of the biggest disappointments of this watch: the lume. I mean, the dial lived up to the name, and the water resistance is crazy, but the lume that's been applied on the hands, indices, and bezel, it's not that strong, especially on the bezel. The company claims to be using Japan's Nemoto superluminous material, but by the looks of it, they needed to apply a few more layers to really make this watch live up to its name. The movement being used is a tried and tested SoCal NH36 automatic mechanical movement that beats at 21,600 bph, has a power reserve of approximately 42 hours, and well, I won't talk about the accuracy because we all know these movements are all over the place. I will say that although I respect the NH movements, I would have preferred a Miyota 9000 series or a Sellita movement. However, for the price point, I get it. The silicone 22mm strap is very comfortable, and those vents really remind me of an RM strap. And it comes with a signed 20mm buckle that's been finished in the same color as the hands and the case, that darker hue. However, the mint avocado guacamole color didn't do it for me, but of course, thanks to the lug width, finding a strap is relatively easy. I particularly love pairing it with this high-end SoCal strap from Artham. It took this watch from a 5 to a 10 in my opinion. Let's end with this. The watch looks funky, yes, it wears big on my wrist. The lume needs some work. However, the unique design, dial, and price make this watch a way better value prop than any of those plastic collab watch has been mass producing. In all seriousness, the watch feels solid in hand and it's finished well. I would be curious to know how many of you are picking this one up or own something funky that no one else likes. Because look, at the end of the day, you're collecting to make you happy, not others. Take care out there and stay humble.